We're back. The time is now.
Well, good evening, everybody. NUFC Talk TV again. It's the Thursday night. We're going to do a preview of the Leeds game. We've got Just Joe, the Leeds fan. He lives in
Leeds
Sunderland.
super fan.
Yeah, he's a big super fan. And we've got the panel, obviously, Mighty Win, the usual one. And we've got Andy. And we've got Doc Omar, who's going to give us a little bit of an insight into all things.
We got Boogie even.
Well, I've just said that. We just said that.
I thought you said Andy.
Well, that's his name, Andrew.
Get away.
It is, honestly. I'm not bullied.
You learn something every day.
Well, you made me feel as though I'd missed him out, and I hadn't. I wouldn't do a thing like that.
Mixed up with Andy.
No, Andy. No.
I've only been doing this for about 3 months, Win.
Exactly. I've only been calling him Andy for I don't know how long, probably 3 months. Anyway, let's crack on. Bit of a different format because obviously there's been breaking news and everything else, and bless him, Just Joe has been over talking all about Leeds and the upcoming game on Saturday evening kickoff. So what we're going to do, we're going to break it into two halves. We want to give Joe a chance to talk about Leeds, and then obviously if Joe wants to stay with us, then he's more than welcome. We're going to get into all the news and gossip and everything else that's going on, and we'll jump on board and have a bit of a panel chat. So again, please, just stay with us. Like I say, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea when we do the previews, but we are going to get into the news a little bit later on in the show. But before we get into the show, let's do the housework and then we'll crack on. Welcome to everybody watching across all the platforms. Thanks to all the mods that work in the background. Don't forget, please, more importantly than anything else, hit that like button if you enjoy the show. It just helps us get further as a channel to other NUFC supporters. Subscribe, it's totally free. Hit that bell for future content. We do lots of shows, always live, never edited. If you want to support us, you can become a member, different levels to choose from. And obviously you can choose from that. If you've got a question for anybody in the panel, try and direct it in the first half of the show, if you wouldn't mind, towards Joe and Leeds and all the different things that you're expecting from that. But obviously nothing's guaranteed, guys. So if you want to guarantee that message read out, then use the $sign, throw us a Talk TV Super Chats, and that'll guarantee that message read out. Anybody that becomes a member during the show, or any of our lovely members that gift memberships, will be highlighted. And thanks. And again, don't forget, if you want to, you can come on board with the Prediction League. It's a £5 entry fee. Try and predict the scores throughout the season. Very difficult. There's 2 games gone, but still everything to play for. Top 6 get a prize. The top 4 get a cash prize. The other 2 get a prize. More of the value to your entry fee. So that is it. So that's it. The housework is done. Let's get on with the business side of town. Just Joe, a little bit about yourself, my friend. Tell us, what you do. I mean, you're a YouTuber. Big channel for the Leeds fans. Background, the stage is yours.
Yeah, Just Joe. Wow. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I was on All Leeds TV initially, which is still running, and then I set out on my own. I'm a season ticket holder and was for a long time, and then my watch-alongs became like such a big thing that I still have my season ticket, but I sell it back to the club every season because I don't want to give it up just in case we get to Europe. You never know. It might happen.
Never know.
Yep. And I just do this on a full-time basis now. So, yeah, I'm living the dream, if you like. So, yeah, I'm just support Leeds. And hopefully we stay in the Premier League with the big boys. That's the plan.
Yeah, indeed. Well, to be fair, I got you as one that stay up, if I'm honest with you. Try and break the ranks. I've got a massive mate of mine who's a massive Leeds fan, has been since the late 60s, goes home and away with them. Again, he's born in Cannock in the Midlands. Family have always followed Leeds. But, I mean, it was Leeds of the old days. Where you got kicked off the park more than... Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I must admit, I used to love Leeds back in them days because that's when football was football. And footballers were footballers, if I'm honest with you. None of this fairy stuff that you see today. Right then, Joe. What I do with a lot of the lads that come on board is I've got a mock up of the Leeds team, if you like, and I can show you that on the screen, so you've got some idea what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your team that I think played Arsenal,
Okay.
if you like. So what again, I have gone like for like with what I've seen on there. So what I'd like you to do, if you may, is first of all, let's have a look at whether you agree with the 11 that's on the park. I know you've got a lad who's injured in the
Yeah.
middle of the park.
Yep.
Is that, am I right or wrong? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm sure-
Tanaka's out
Tanaka. He's got a
injured.
knee injury, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He got injured against Arsenal, so he'll be
Just
out.
knackered.
Yeah, exactly.
Tanaka's
Yeah.
knackered.
So I think Longstaff will come in, which is your boy. So
yeah.
he'll come in.
So we're going to throw Longstaff in there. That'll be interesting,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Bit of a
Yeah.
match up for Lungy because he'll know a bit about our boys, obviously, for
Definitely.
being a lifelonger.
Yep.
So when you look at this team, 'cause I watched a little bit of you guys in the past, and your formation is very similar to ours, where you play this 4-3-3. And I believe it's Gruev, number 44, that sits in the deep role in the pocket, a space. Stack seems to be the one that likes to push on a little bit. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, no, you are right. We normally have Ampadu in the 6, our captain, but he got injured against Everton.
Yeah, I can say he's out, isn't he? So
Yeah.
So when you look at the formation that you got, I mean, I like Nonto. I think he's a lad that unfortunately you never always see the best out of him.
No.
He seems very much like a confidence player. Another one of these players, we've got one like Harvey Barnes. If he beats you the first time, he'll feel as though he can beat you every time. And that's William Gnotov to me. But again, I like him. He's a bit electric. He's got good pace.
Got a trick.
He has. And obviously, we all know Dan James, ex-Man U player. But you have got a few new bods in your team.
I think
Bit of a... Go on, mate.
I think Strout comes out because he was really poor against Arsenal. So I think Yacobiol will come in for his league debut.
Who's Stroke?
Yeah, I think he comes out because he was pretty poor.
Right.
Yacobiol, we bought from Udinese. I think he'll start alongside Rodon. As for Nonto, we've just bought Okafor, but I think he's injured already. So he might not play. And up top, I think we'll go with Mecha because Pirro was pretty rubbish against Arsenal. I don't think Calvert-Lewin's fit yet. Otherwise, we'd start with him.
Get away.
That doesn't surprise us at all.
I know.
So Pirro will be out.
Yeah.
And who do you think? Who's up top? Did you say, mate?
Lucas Mecha.
Mecha. That's that lad there, number 14. Yeah. So similar lineup. Do you think you're going to play your 4-3-3? No changes on your thing. So again, your step up from the Championship. Had a cracking run in the Championship. Mm-hmm. Were you unbeaten at home for a period? Like 23 games?
Yeah, a lot, yeah. We smashed it, to be fair. We should have come up the other season, but I'm glad we didn't because we saw how difficult that were for them other teams. Mm-hmm. But we smashed it last season. We were quality. But to be honest, I don't think the team's improved that much, if I'm being honest.
Right.
I'm a little bit worried about the business we've done in the final third. It's not great.
Okay. I mean, we all know.
The final third of the window, Joe, or the final third of the pitch?
What's that? No, the final third of the pitch, yeah. And the final third of the window. We've been pretty inactive, to be honest. It's been poor.
I mean, we all know in the Premier League, it's pace and everything else. The idea is obviously not conceding goals. Lucas Perry, is he not a new one?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, new keeper in from Lyon. We brought him in because Meslier was bad, really bad.
Yeah. I remember Meslier having a bit of a mare, and obviously you've just had a mutual agreement on one lad that seems to. He's got a bit of a mixed review, very similar to Longstaff for Newcastle, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. A lot of fans loved him, a lot of fans hated him, and you've said a long goodbye to a lad who's been with you some time, haven't you?
Yeah, Patrick Bamford, yeah. Finally waved goodbye to him as well as Meslier, do you know what I mean? So I think the manager, to be fair to him, has been pretty stern this season. I was quite surprised he took the number 1 shirt off Melier. So, and then we've just had announced today as well that Bamford's going, so they're quite big losses for us, but not in terms of quality. But
Yeah.
they've been around for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's an evening kickoff at Elland Road. I mean, I can imagine it's going to be pretty raucous. It always is there. It's one of them grounds that I absolutely love to go to, just because of the atmosphere. It's that old. It just feels, close to the pitch and all that. But for me, it's more the fact that you've got under the lights. It seems to give. It's very similar to St James's Park. When you're under the lights, it just seems to give you that little bit of an extra impetus. The fans on the lash all day, you know what I mean? It's going to be pretty raucous, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have to really play into that Elland Road crowd because we know how big our home form's going to be, and we showed that against Everton. I think a lot of the Everton fans were saying like it's been an amazing atmosphere, and we have to carry that because if we don't, then we're going to struggle to stay up. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'll know yourself. I've been to St James's a few times. It's like bloody climbing Everest, getting to top of them stairs. Away, and I can't lie, you need rest. Genuinely, I've been. And I've seen lads that are not the fittest halfway up, like, I'm not going to make it. You know what I mean? It's a bit mad getting up them stairs. But yeah, we have to make it like a bear pit, really. And with your issues, I know you've signed Woltemade, etc. I think we're getting you at the perfect time. We've just got to start well. If we start well, then we might be all right.
Yeah, this could be a perfect opportunity for you guys with us having 4 missing of the regular team. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on, as you very similar to yourself, on debutants coming into the team. Out of this team, then, where do you think the danger men are? What have we as Newcastle fans, when we do the live stream and the watch along, who's the one to look for? Who's the one to say, this is the lad that's gonna go for?
I'd love to say the midfield had we had Tanaka and Ampadu fit.
Right.
But I'm going to go with the fullbacks, if I'm honest, because Jayden Bogle didn't have the best time at Sheffield United, but he's one of our better players. He scored midweek. I think Bogle and Goodmanson down the flanks, they'll cause you problems. But to be honest, I am really worried about the midfield going up against yours. Even though you've got players missing, I think the fact that Miley and Ramsey come in, I think we might struggle there. And the front three is pretty poor, if you want my honest opinion. So I think I'll go for the fullbacks.
Yeah. PDK's got a question for you.
Yep.
Is the little lad next door a Leeds fan yet?
No, he's not, mate. No, unfortunately not. He changes his mind all the time. One day he's a Sunderland fan, then he's a City fan, then he's got a Newcastle strip. So I don't know.
Oh, bless. So there you go. That's sorted. Well, I mean, I like Farker. I think he like you say, he doesn't air any graces, does he? He speaks his mind. Some players will react differently to stern managers. A lot of players like the arm around the shoulder. A lot of players react from a kick up the arse. He seems very much the latter. He seems to be the one that, really pushes the lads. Are you happy with Dan James and what he's given you so far, or did you think he was going to just be that next step up?
Do you know, I was saying it earlier with Dan James, I feel like he's got a little bit of Dwight Gale about him. He's mint in the Championship, was mint at Swansea. We were going to take him. Then he went to Man United, not good enough. We paid 25 million for him, which was mental. Then it didn't really work. We sent him to Fulham. It didn't really work. He's dropped down. And to be fair to Farker, he's improved him over 2 seasons. But in the first couple of games in the Premier League, it looks like the gap's too big, if I'm honest. So I'm a little bit unsure on him. But and just on the manager, we've played 2 games in the league, got 3 points and lost 1. A lot of the fans want him gone. For whatever reason, they haven't built up an emotional connection with him. And when you haven't got an emotional connection with a manager, as soon as it drops, it's like, right, it's done. I don't understand why, but if we get beat on Saturday, which is a massive chance that happens, a lot will want him sacked, which I find insane, but it is what it is.
Listen, we have a very similar scenario with Eddie. You're always going to have people that just sit on the glass half empty rather than the glass half full. Even though, for myself, and I'm sure for majority of the panelists that I've got with me here now, what Eddie's brought to us is not only stability. He's brought us something that I hadn't recognised in a very long time, well, since the 90s. Briefly, under certain managers, we've seen glimpses of what it can be working with the elite sides around us. But with Eddie, 2 out of 3 seasons Champions League, getting us from relegation, looking to finishing 11th in his first season. But again, there's a lot of people out there that still want to see the glass half empty rather than what he has given us. And it's a real strange, it's a strange feeling, because obviously if you're in the win camp, which is obviously one of Eddie's big supporters, he's got his T-shirt, "The sun always shines on Eddie." It is funny how fans see the game, isn't it? There you go. He's got it on his shirt now. Look, it's always funny how fans see the development of the club. Now, I agree with what you're saying. You looked a totally different animal in the championship. I mean, there was very few teams that could compete with you. And it seems really strange to think that, when you bring that next step up to the Premier League, how different the two leagues, how vast they are compared. And, I know you guys in the past have really struggled financially, really suffered from the David O'Leary times when you went to win everything, and to be fair, you've got to go praising David O'Leary for what he achieved for you. But he didn't have to put you in some financial heartache, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, we ended up in League One, didn't we? You know, we spent, 15 years out. So I get the criticism over PSR, and it's frustrating now. But I think had that been there, then that wouldn't have been allowed to happen. And you don't know where Leeds would have been had we stayed up. But like Ridsdale, we lived the dream, he says, for a bit. And, well, it was a joke in the end. But we've had some nightmare owners. We've got 49ers in now. I wish they would push the envelope a little bit more, but we're back in the Premier League. They're increasing the stadium to 55. But we've got to stay in the division first. And I'm just not sure with the players that they've bought, they've done enough. But we'll see. I still back the manager. I think we've got the right man in charge, but we'll have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting
very
one.
despondent, Joe.
I feel that's how I feel though, because of the end to the window. Like today, we're being linked to Buonanotte, and I should be excited, but all I'm hearing is it's going to be one more, and I don't think it's enough. So I look at this game now and I go, if we get beat there, I've got a full international break of everyone saying sack the manager, and then it's just stressful, isn't it? It's stressful being a football fan, and then when you do it as your job, you like doing it 24/7, if that makes sense. So it can be stressful.
Can I ask you a quick question, if that's all right?
I was just going to come to you guys. Is there anything that you guys want to ask?
Joe, can I just ask you what you think of the Longstaff signing?
I don't mind it, but again, like I say, and I say it jokingly, if he worked from the northeast, he worked pale and he worked ginger and he was called Sean Longstaffinio, everyone would be buzzing. Like I was saying, he's over 170 games in the Prem. You're picking him up for 12 million. I think it's a great price, but a lot of the fan base, I think sometimes they just automatically, like, to be honest, some of the lads that watch my channel were saying Nicholas Jackson wasn't good enough for us, Rasmus Højlund wasn't good enough for us, and I'm like, you need to understand where we are, like, the gap's massive. So is us bringing in Sean Longstaff, I think it's a great signing personally, but not everyone agrees with me. People say I'm a happy clapper.
You'll learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll soon
All
blow.
I can say is I hope you're happy clapping pays off, Joe.
What would you say about him, lads? Are you positive on him, or do you think he improves as what?
I tell you what people don't see in Sean Longstaff is his movement. Now, Sean isn't the technical player. He isn't, he's never going to be the Perlo in midfield and knock you 30, 40, 50-yard balls. But what he can do is he can move bodies around because he's a fit young lad. And a lot of people, when you look at football games, a lot of people often misunderstand his role within the team. And I always say, the biggest problem for us as fans, and you've probably had the same issue with Farker, is we never get to hear what he's tasked to do by the coach. So players sometimes will not have a kick of the ball, but if that's what the coach has asked him to do, just be the player who runs the lines, pulls opposition away from their defending units, so we can exploit that area. He was great at doing that.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah,
just
exactly.
wasn't great at
I
doing
think-
a lot of anything else.
If you don't score or assist, you've had a poor game in today's football, and it's just couldn't be further from the truth, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the coin, Joe. I would quite happily have drove Longstaff down myself to
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But where you are, though, now,
you
where
know
are.
the stats I sent you, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, they just hate seeing them. Hate seeing them.
I mean, listen, you're always going to have a love-hate relationship with players. Players that just... And I think you were just going to get to my next point. I think that Longstaff is at a level, but it's not Newcastle level anymore. When some we've lost Wilson, we've lost Almiron, we've lost a few players, and I think what happens with players is when they, come from the lower end of the Premier League, they can compete, they can be involved, but when it starts getting to the top end of that Premier League, where you're vying for Champions League, you're vying to finish in the top 4 or 5, it becomes a little bit harder.
Yeah,
and some players just can't step up to that next level. We've had Jacob Murphy, who has been absolutely slated by a lot of our fans, who's had the best 2 seasons when you look at his XG and AXG that he's had in his career. Now, if that can continue, everybody will actually go to Eddie Howe and say, what a fantastic job you've done with him. But I think we seem to forget the players that are actually involved in the build-up play around him. And I think sometimes Newcastle, because we've got now such a strong midfield, we forget the players' technical ability around the lesser players that can make them shine.
So what midfield are we going to be putting in there against their lot?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Who, guys, because Dr. Elmar, do you want to ask Joe anything before we move on to the Newcastle predicted league?
Yeah. So thanks, Joe. It's lovely to meet you.
mate.
My question is, you mentioned about the manager. I think people are too emotional. The fans are too emotional, and it's like one game can lift your mood, and one game can make you like suicidal. Being a psychiatrist, I see that even in our chats and things, people get very emotional very quickly. Do you think fans need to take a step back and look at a whole season? Because you're going to have ups and downs during the season, and we can't just be reactive, like sack the manager or
Exactly.
this player's rubbish. Yeah.
You bang on the money, because I was trying to explain this to people as well. So a Forest fan, Wolfie, sent me a snapshot of their season. And in that season, they stayed up. They lost 5-0 to Arsenal. A couple of games later, they lost 6-0 to City. And in 2 months' worth of football, they won 1 game. They kept faith with the manager and got promoted. I keep trying to say to people, if you expect us to win back-to-back games on a regular, it's not going to happen. When you mapped out the season and you looked at it on paper and said, right, we've got Everton, Arsenal, Newcastle, we must win that Everton game, so we're not 3 games. But when it actually happens, you get beat by Arsenal, and if we get beat by Saturday, it's like the world's going to end. And it's like, if you actually stood back, though, and said to yourself, them 3 games, how many points realistically you hope for 3? But, yeah, I think if we get beat, genuinely, there'll be some saying get him gone. And if you go into the game, it won't surprise me if there's some booing. It's madness, honestly, but I don't think he's garnered that emotional connection that someone like Bielsa did, because he's quite standoffish. But I really like the guy, but I agree with you. Fans are far too emotional. And in the social media world we live in now, it has to be instant. It's mad.
Yeah, interesting. Wynne, do you want to ask Joe anything? I know you are a massive follower of Joe.
Let's get on with our lineup.
Righty up. Right then, lads, let's get on with this one. Obviously, we realise that there's a lot of... I don't know why my Newcastle...
and let's start off in goal.
Well, I think it's going to be Pope, but I must admit, I must change this because it's driving me insane. Because my goalkeeper, unfortunately, has gone into overdrive. So I'm just going to try and change the colours because I hate the colours. Oh, it'll do. In white. I'll have him in white today. Go on then. Who do you think's going to be in?
Well, I know who I want in. I want Ramsdale in, but as you say, I think you'll stick with Pope.
So we're going to have. Oh, Pope is in a white shirt as well. Bloody hell. It's going to clash, but it won't. It'll be all right in a second. Fullbacks, guys. Right back.
Wrong numbered as well now, Gary.
I know. That's what I just said. I've just downloaded this and I realised straight away.
Are we working on the basis that Hall, having come on, is fit?
Well, like I said, you guys have got to start showing the fact that there could be potentially a massive change here, if you like.
The whole point is we could go with Trips and Livermento and play Hall in midfield.
Yeah, I think Hall left back, Tino right back for me.
Right back, Hall left back, and it's the obvious.
Yeah. So
I agree. I think Trips had a really bad game against.
Totally agree, and I think this will be a time for rest. If I'm honest with you.
Far too emotional, weren't he? With that first tackle, I thought you're going to end up getting a ready. You need to calm yourself down. I thought it was a bit mad, weren't he?
Yeah.
So we're going to go with Tino
as well. Yeah.
Tino right back, yeah.
Tino right back. Lewis Hall left back.
Yeah.
Okay, and your two centre halves then, because obviously we know Shaw's not going to be there because of the concussion.
Dan will be there for definite.
12 days. So you think Dan Burn will come in?
Malik
Obviously,
Chow for me.
And Chow for me,
Chow,
I'm going to have to put.
Chow
I'm going to have to put Chow's name in because these guys, for some unknown reason, never put Chow in. Malik Chow.
I think he might go with Botman actually.
Do you think?
Well, he has the other option, of course, with a severely depleted midfield. Might well go 3.
Well, there's always that option, isn't there?
If you've got
I think Chow will be. I think they'll be playing anyway, and then it's a question of do we go 3 in midfield or do we go 5 at the back with Botman?
I think it'll be Chow. I think it'll be a straight swap because Malik Chow obviously plays that position anyway, even though he can play across the 3. I don't think they'll go. Well, I say I don't think they could potentially utilise this one to have Botman in as the sweeper, if you like, knowing full well that you've got the 2 young uns that can blast down the wing. The only problem is do you play like the likes of Elanga in front or do you play him through the middle? So let's go with what you think first, and then we can have a look at potential maybes afterwards. So midfield then. Who's going to come into midfield?
Well, are we working on the assumption that Tonali and J7 are out?
They are out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in which case it's going to be Ramsey, Miley, and Bruno.
Right,
yeah.
Do you think he will play Ramsey? I think he might go 3 at the back, rather than play
that's what I said. There's every
like
chance.
I say, the alternative, you can play Trips right back and Hall in midfield.
I think Ramsey deserves to start after his performance against Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think maybe Ramsey and Bruno midfield. For me, Bruno, Ramsey in midfield, and I think he'll probably start Botman at the back as well.
What was he's 41, isn't it, Ramsey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob Ramsey, number 41.
I think he'll score as well, by the way. I think Ramsey will score.
Great signing for you. Great
signing. There was a lot of fans that didn't like the signing, but I think it's a great signing.
Yeah, he's quality.
I think there's a lot of people that just worried about his fitness. That's the problem. You
but
do get
he had a metatarsal injury, which is the reason that he was out for a long time.
Yeah. You reckon Elanga could be involved?
Yeah,
I think it'll be Elanga, Gordon Barnes again. Well,
Gordon can't play.
Elanga Asula.
Gordon can't play.
Elanga Asula Barnes, sorry.
So Asula through the middle, and Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes has a great record against Leeds United, by the way. So if you want a goal scorer, he's probably a pick. He always scores against us.
Oh, well, there you go.
He needs a goal,
He
if
needs
I'm honest with you.
something.
Yeah,
He'll probably
because the
come in
last
this
two
one,
games.
genuinely. I think there's only one game he hasn't scored. Even when he was at West Brom, I think there's only one game he hasn't scored against us, and that was when we played Leicester last time in the Premier League. So
You've got Yano Wise got Woltemade in the middle already.
Well, to be fair, his first part of his medical is tonight. His second part is tomorrow morning. So if he passes that and he can get it done before 12 midday, he could be included in the squad.
Yeah, could be on the bench.
So
I think he'll be on the bench because Eddie never starts with a new signing.
Oh no! I mean, to be fair, and because Asula scored against Liverpool, I suppose you've got to give him an opportunity to say that he's not good enough. And like
I think
say,
he's
maybe
proved that he's not good enough from my perspective.
yeah, but you know, sometimes you can't just.
I know. Yeah, we don't have any options anyway.
I'm going to say, who else can you play through the middle apart from bringing the likes of Park Sue in there, or Sue Park, and throwing Harvey Barnes in the middle, perhaps, you know, some middle like that. But I mean, you are limited on, or even bringing one of the under 21s in, Sean Neve. So
I mean, it's all total speculation till we hear Eddie's presser tomorrow. But, if you were facing that side, Joe, how do you feel?
to be honest, the striker is a massive win for us, right? The striker is a massive win. I know. I agree with what Doc was saying. I don't think Eddie starts Woltemade, even if he's ready and in time. I don't think he'll start him away at Elland Road. I just don't see it. Not for his first game. The midfield three, obviously, it's a lot worse than if it was Tonali and Joe Linton. But admittedly so, we are also missing Tanaka and Ampadu, so our midfield's a lot weaker. If you went with a back three, I don't see how we... To be honest, we've struggled to create. We have struggled to create in every game. Even against Everton, the goal came from a penalty. We dominated, but we didn't create anything really. The one time we created this season was against Wednesday when Calvert-Lewin came on because his movement's decent. Whatever we think about Calvert-Lewin, his movement is good. But he won't play. So if you went with three centre-backs, I don't see how we create. So I don't want you to do that. But our midfield is going to be tough, honestly. It's whatever side Newcastle put out, it's going to be strong. When I was watching you on Monday, I was rubbing my hands thinking, oh, this is brilliant. They're dropping like flies. But then Ramsey came on and I forgot they signed him. Lewis Miley played well when he came on and I was like, oh, shit, Lewis Miley. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a tough afternoon for us, for sure.
I've got a question from Foxy, mate. It's a good one about Tanaka. Do you think Leeds can hang on to Tanaka for the full season? Such an underrated talent and signed for a bargain. Him being injured is a big miss for you guys.
Massive miss. I think he'll only be out for a couple of weeks. We got him from Bundesliga too. He was only, I think, about 3 million. He's a snip. But I can't help but think at the end of the season he probably will leave. But he won't leave this season. Not by any stretch. Yeah,
but like I say, he's a shining star. And like I say, the longer you keep him fit, I think the better your chances of staying in this division, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's what
How much
you
have
need.
you actually spent in the window?
It's about 100 million now on...
So the 49ers are putting the money in.
Yeah, they are, but I still don't think it's enough, though, if I'm being honest. Because, like I say, the free attackers, 2 of them were free, and 1 was 15 million. The most we've spent's 15 million. I think you have to probably spend a little bit more. But, yeah, they have put the money in. They've put the money where the mouth is, so we'll have to see. And the thing is with Farker, a lot of people have a go at him, but at Norwich, he spent nothing. Whereas at Leeds, he has been back now, so he's got to do something with that, because 100 million's a lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, Joe, I'm going to come to you first, mate, because this is the conundrum. This is your chance to give me your score prediction for Saturday's game, Leeds versus Newcastle.
We need to get off to a good start like we did against Everton. If we do that, then I think we can get a point. I do think we can get a point. And I will go for 1-1. However, if we let you dominate early and you run all over us, press us high, then it'll be long for us. We saw that away at Arsenal. We took too long on the ball and they just pressed us into oblivion and they beat us 5-0. So if we are like constantly trying to play it out from the back, etc., and use a pressing is, it could be long for us. We need to start well, but I'll go for a speculative 1-1 draw.
Good for you.
Yeah, well done. The mighty win. What's your prediction, mate?
I'm going 3-1 the tune.
Who's the scorers? That's the important one.
I think Asula might surprise us.
Oh,
And
nice.
on the back of what Joe's just said about Barnes liking a game against the Lily Whites, let's
He
give...
will score. He will score. Trust me, he will score.
There you go. Chris the American Mag. He's the man, the myth, the legend behind the scenes. Great guest, Joe. Thank you for coming on, mate. There you
Thanks,
go.
mate. Thanks.
Yanu saying there, did Gary nick the tactics board from hammering? Dear me. Listen, I can't afford the chess
You
pieces.
need the magnets.
I can't afford the magnet chess pieces, mate. I mean, listen, it's going to be a difficult one. Bokey, your scores, mate.
I think it'll probably be 2-1 to Newcastle. I don't think we'll actually start with that team, to be honest, that we've put up there.
What's your thoughts on the team then, mate?
I think he will draw. I don't think he'll play Miley. I don't think he'll play two youngsters, the two youngsters in one team. I think he's probably got to go with Asula up front. So I think he'll probably go with the two in midfield of Bruno and Ramsey, and I think he'll put Botman in at the back. I think he'll go like two in midfield and.
Yeah, but then the problem is Ramsey's this way of thinking rather than this way of thinking. So what you're going to end up doing is having one guy. I'm just going to pull Marley into the back.
Yeah,
that just doesn't work, mate.
I just don't see him starting with them two. There's just something in my head that knowing Eddie, I don't think he'll start with them two in the team.
I mean, like what Wim was saying, you could always end up having Hall come in. The only problem with Hall is you lose a little bit more of the height. I think Miley and Bruno will be your sixes. That's it. This is how I feel he'll go. It'll be Ramsey just dropping in, but he'll be the lad who will be wanting to link up with Asula and obviously some support for Harvey Barnes. Now, we know Lewis Hall will get right down this wing because that's his task. He'll be tasked to really push on Bogle and double up with Barnes. We know Barnes just doesn't have the pace to get behind and beat the player. But with the likes of Lewis Hall and Ramsey being in the triangle, I think that is more the frame. And I think what we've seen Bruno of the past now is him going on, and we've had J7 and Tonali sit, and it's been Bruno who's gone in that pocket of space in the high 8-10 role on that inside right position. So with Tonali and J7 out, I think you may find it dropping the other way. I think it'll be Ramsey dropping in and the two taller members of the squad. I mean, obviously, I think we forget as young as Lewis Miley is, he's 6'4", is he? I think it is 6'4", 6'5".
Another half an inch.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big unit in that. Again, the one thing that worries me in this lineup, if we do get beat through the middle, it's recovery pace from these two. That's the only thing that is a concern of mine. So potentially, what I would see happening if this was an area of concern for Eddie was probably bringing in the likes of Botman. The only problem is then you have no substitute centre half because you've got a player that's out injured. So who do you put on the bench in case? And we all know that Botman has been a little bit dodgy recently.
Is Lascelles not fit?
You've got Lascelles and Kraft.
You've got Lascelles and you've got Kraft. Obviously, I'm not saying Lascelles couldn't do a job, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't want to throw Kraft in there, you know what I mean, into that right centre back position for just to cover a position. I would rather give Lascelles a shout because again we go to the point of if Livramento falls, who covers right back? We don't want to just throw all our eggs in one basket. So if you bring in...
Yeah, well, Tripp is going to be on the bench.
I suppose the other way of looking at Gary is we wouldn't have a central midfielder on the bench.
Well, that's what I said. You're going to have the kids there.
But you obviously you talk about the centre backs not having a centre back on the bench. If you
Yeah.
play them three, you haven't got a midfielder on the bench. You haven't got a central midfielder on the bench.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Is Joe Willock not fit?
This is why
Well,
I
Willock
think
was on the
Ramsey.
bench on Monday.
I think Ramsey will go, and I think he'll have a 5-2-3 situation. And I think these guys will start out wide and they'll come narrow
Do you
in the
think he will start
diagonals.
with a 5?
I'm saying if you look at what we've got in reserve in this pocket of space, as Boki's just said there, I think the element is who comes in if one of them gets injured.
Yeah, but
Right.
at the minute you've got whoever you put back there in Botman's
Botman.
place.
Yeah, that's Botman. So
Yeah,
you've got Botman, Malik Chow, and Byrne. And if you
Right.
want, then you have got Lascelles coming in if you need him. Because if
so you've
any of
still got
these two,
Maley, so you've still got Maley on the bench.
no, Miley and Gilmares are in the middle here. I would drop Ramsey. If it was me, I would say to Ramsey, not yet because of where we are.
Oh, right.
Or I'll throw Barnes off and I'll bring Ramsey into this left-hand side, which I know he plays well. He got a bit more pace about him because for me, Barnes has just done nothing. And as you said, and rightfully said the other day, Barnes for me is a better impact player than he is a starter. So potentially what you could see is something like this with Jacob Ramsey out on that left-hand side, Elland on the right-hand side. And again, what you've got there then is a little bit more pace through the middle. You've got a bit of stability in the middle of the park with these two, not being asked or tasked to keep running. You've got some really young whippersnappers down the width with the two fullbacks or the wing backs, if you call them. And you've got a bit of stability with Malik Chow and Dan Byrne covering both right back and left back if required. So for me, that gives us a bit more balance within the side. And it gives us a little bit of cover on the bench if we need it. The biggest problem is for me, if we go with Jacob Murphy or Barnes, I mean, the beauty of having Barnes on the bench is you can actually utilise him in several areas. Jacob Ramsey, another one, you can utilise in several areas. There is options there for doing something else. And obviously, we've got
but I'm
Murphy
saying,
there.
so you're saying your line up there, you've got 3 at the back.
Yeah, that's what I just said. If you wanted balance, you could go with your 3 at the back.
So do you think
and
Eddie will
take
go
one
with
of your
3 at the back?
midfield. Do I think he will? I have no idea. I'm saying if you wanted balance and you wanted a little bit of pace and stability in the middle of the park, the one thing that we can't afford to get done, and it doesn't matter whether Leeds are losing certain players, is get outrun here. Because that is where you'll lose the game.
I just don't see him playing Asula and Maley in the same team from the start.
If you're old enough, you're young enough.
Just
Or
Eddie,
you're good
I
enough.
mean,
but no,
Yeah.
Eddie's
you're good
mindset.
enough, you're old enough.
Yeah, but knowing Eddie's mindset, I just don't see him playing them two. I might be completely wrong, but I don't see him playing them two from the start together. I think one or the other drops out.
But I just thought
And that's just a
I thought
personal
we
opinion.
decided on the lineup before and we're working on it. Now we've completely changed it.
Well, what you've got there is two options. You've got a team if you want to go 4-3-3 and match what Leeds have got out there, which is what Eddie's favourite
I
numbers
think
are.
if we play 3 in the back, Leeds don't score.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't think we get 3 goals either.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's the one thing that worries me is who
And we know
scores
that Eddie
goals.
much prefers to go for a win as opposed to preserve, not lose.
Yeah. And like I said, for me, it is about keeping a clean sheet. But and hopefully we get something coming from these guys. Like I said, the biggest problem for me is Barnes because he's absolutely done nothing at all in the first 2 games. He's not given us an outlet really. Doesn't shoot at goal. So why have him on the park when you've got Ramsey, who looked willing, he looked full of running. He's got a bit of
I
kick
think
about
Ramsey
him.
plays. I don't think there's any doubt about Ramsey playing.
But like I said, again, when you look at your limitations in the field of play, I think you've got more chance of something like this than you have Jacob Ramsey and Bruno Gilmares if you take Miley out. Because that, to me, whoever you play, there's a weak link here with Ramsey. Because Ramsey just wants to get here. He doesn't want to
But if
I
you've
mean,
got
we saw it.
Yeah, but
if
you've got
you've
three
got
at
three
the
in the
back.
back, you don't really have to worry about that.
You know, that's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I say, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be one or the other.
It is good. So what are you saying anyway? We're waiting for your prediction.
Me, I exactly what you just said. I think it's going to be 3-1 Newcastle.
And Dr. Omar.
I'm just reading the comments. I think people, some funny comments coming in. I don't know. Anyway,
There's always funny comments when I do this stuff.
yeah. So I'm trying to psychoanalyze the comments. I reckon it's going to be 2-1. I think Calvert-Lewin's going to score. I've got a bad feeling he always tends to like do well against Newcastle.
Calvert-Lewin's injured.
Oh, he's not. Is he not
Oh
on the
no,
bench?
he played on Tuesday. I don't think he'll start him because I don't think
He'll
he's.
be on the
be on the-
bench though, won't he?
Yeah, I
He'll be on
think
the
he'll be on the
bench.
bench. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll come on and score, I reckon. And I think Jacob Ramsey and Harvey Barnes going to score.
There we go.
Interesting.
My
Very
only concern is that emotionally the match against Liverpool took a lot out of the players and physically as well. So my only concern is they might be a bit sluggish.
I don't know why we've got Aston Villa and Newcastle review at the bottom here. That needs changing. People ain't doing the homework. That's probably be my job. That's what I'm saying. It's a tough life, this YouTube
It's
stuff.
took us 46 minutes to realise, to be honest. So.
Seriously. I keep looking at it thinking, oh my God, I've got to change that. It's bloody awful. And I keep forgetting to do it because I'm looking at 13 different screens here.
It could be worse. It could be Man United versus Newcastle.
Yeah, that would be bad. I think I'd have left. I reckon.
You'd have gone. Joe, thank you ever so much for coming on board, mate. It's like I say, you're more than welcome to contribute and stay with us if you want to.
I don't want to hear about you signing strikers. That's
that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough.
Go and give just Joe. That's the channel.
Legend. Thank you very much.
Man, get in there.
Thank you, Joe.
Have a good one.
Take care. Thanks to Just Joe for doing his little bit on Leeds. So I suppose the order of today should be the new signing that came literally out of the blue while we were doing the Champions League, and it was. I mean, literally, it just got you excited. It was something strange. Now, there's obviously some people will always look at Woltemade and then question his ability. And there's been a couple of really good write-ups about Woltemade, and I wanted to
Woltemade.
just give you guys a brief description of what people see in this lad. Imagine watching a player of the physical dimension of Peter Crouch. I mean, that didn't blow me frock up. The dribbling prowess of Neymar, that one did. And the vision of Karim Benzema. There's no need to imagine. You can find a player with precisely these qualities in southeastern Germany. Take a trip to Stuttgart, Newcastle now, and you'll find a player who not only has everything it takes to be Germany's number 9, but one of the best strikers in world football. Over the past year, Nick Woltemade has emerged as one of the most in-form attackers in the Bundesliga, captivating global attention thanks to his aesthetically pleasing goals and incredible technique for a player of his size. At 1.98 metres, Woltemade seems like a typical target man who lives inside the area, preying on crosses to head home, and instead he's the complete package in the attack. He develops his best football from the left flank, and his biggest zone of contact is in the opposing third, where he plays as a second striker for Stuttgart or as a number 9 for Germany's under-21 side. Similarly to Chelsea striker João Pedro, he is superb at linking up play and reading the game. And he doesn't just participate in scoring, but the creation of teams' attacking plays, averaging 1.2 key passes per match in the Bundesliga.
Nick Woltemade.
Yeah, Nick Woltemade. I mean, literally, it is very exciting to think that we've brought this lad in. And I didn't realise, because like I say, I don't actually see much of the Bundesliga games. I see the under-21s matches with Germany because, like I say, all the stars seem to be coming through there. And it's always nice to try and cherry pick or at least pick future starlets coming through. So for me, he was a bit of a surprise, a bit of a non-entity when I was watching him. Didn't think that much of him when I first saw him, to be fair. But having a look in his highlights at some of the goals that I've seen, he's certainly a shining light. He's a shining light at his age group. I just didn't like what I saw in the German side. He seems to be a lad who doesn't seem to do a lot, but that's just small snippets of him. But when you look at him and some of the goals he scored, wow, he's a bit of a prospect. I didn't realise that Stuttgart got him on a free. And he just literally come as, through the door, not recognised. Took him a while to get going, but the second half. What?
Woltemade, done deal.
Yeah. We knew that. That's not breaking. That's old news now.
Well, does that not mean he must have passed part of the medical?
No. I mean, his personal terms and everything else has been sorted, and it was just there was a plane coming in and there was
two coming into Newcastle, one from Bremen, and one from
Stuttgart,
Strasbourg, which were both, get doable, shall we say, from Stuttgart.
Yeah, so it's an interesting one. So what I mean, out of nowhere, this come out the blue. I mean, we spoke about a potential target as a fan, who we could be linked with, and
the happy clapper has been suffering slings and arrows since the transfer window opened, and my take has always been, I will judge the window on the 1st of September when it closes. And everybody's saying, that's what you've been saying, that's what you've always said in the past, da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. This time was different, this time we had money to spend.
Yeah.
And I also always said that the deals that we do will not be stuff that Romano said, stuff that that all the journos are broke and everybody's on about. It'll be out of the blue, it'll be like that, and it'll be a done deal. And that's exactly what's happened. And I wouldn't rule out exactly the same thing happening again.
Gary, can I just ask a question? Have you got the lad's stats in front of you? I think he scored, was it 17 goals he scored last season in the Bundesliga?
Yeah, something like that.
In the Bundesliga he scored 12 and 28 and 5 in the Cup.
Just wondering how many were with his head. Is he
he knows where
is that what they mean by the crouchy thing? Is he sort of?
Yeah, he's
with his feet.
He's 6'7" or something stupid.
I've been more impressed with his footwork, to tell you the truth.
But that's what I'm saying. You very rarely get a lad of his stature good with your feet. They look a little bit clumsy and a bit gangly, but he's got a great touch on him. And like I say, what I love about him was, when the going gets tough and you want somebody who can sit in that hole, a target man, and have somebody with a bit of pace running behind. If ever you want to change it up, he is the perfect man because he's very adept at sticking and sitting in the 10 and playing that attacking midfield role. Links up play really well. Again, a lad that literally went by my sight because, again, he just doesn't look that type of player. He looks very unorthodox, if you like. But he's certainly got it about him. And like I say, I think when you think about the money that we were going to spend on Sesko, and again, having watched Sesko now for Man U, he hasn't blown my frock up either. So he's a young lad. Was he 23? Woltemade, and like I say, he's got a lot of years ahead of him. So in today's market, is the £67 million that we've paid for him a lot of money? When you think we potentially could have been spending that on Strand Larsen.
As I say, it would just be interesting to know how many. As I say, just with the comparison made with Peter Crouch,
I've got
how many has
here. This goes back to 17-18. Now I'll count how many he had. There's 1, 2.
Yes.
3, 4, 5.
He's running out of fingers.
How many fingers have you got up?
Out of all of his goals, only 6 of them are headers.
So
Right.
that sounds like maybe
And-
it's a little bit wise compared to Crouchy.
And that's since 2017. Starting off with Berlin under 17s, all his goals, header, right foot shot, penalty, left foot shot, right foot shot, direct free kick, right foot shot, right foot shot, right foot shot, penalty, right foot shot, right foot shot, right foot shot, tap in, penalty, left foot shot, right foot shot, left foot shot, right foot shot, penalty, left foot shot, penalty, right foot shot, right foot shot, right foot shot. So definitely right dominated, right foot, penalty, right foot, penalty. Right foot, penalty, right foot, header, right foot, penalty,
It
right.
sounds like a dance, doesn't it?
Yeah, only 6 headers.
So it sounds like he will settle into our team well, because that's we don't play massive amounts of crosses into the box, do we? We try to get the ball into the box. So it sounds like he is that. I don't watch a lot of German football. In fact, I watch no German football. So I've watched a few clips of him on YouTube, but he does seem to have a good shot on him, which is I think what we need.
Well, it gives us the option to throw it into the box, doesn't it?
It does.
It's just
Bob.
Thank you very much. Yes, he scores with his head, and wingers will love it.
But like I say, we've got to deliver it. Omar, what's your thoughts on Woltemade?
I love the signing, and I love the fact that it was under the radar. I was really suffering with the possibility of paying 70 million for JSL. I'm not a big fan of JSL. I know in the WhatsApp group I was speaking about my concerns. So I think I was mentioning this, that we should be signing players under the radar, because whatever player we're going for, another club comes in and takes him away. So I love the fact that it was done under the radar. I think it's not a coincidence that Yasser Romayan was in Newcastle on Monday night, and I think he's kind of basically put his foot down and said things need to be sorted out as soon as possible. So I think he's definitely, from what I'm hearing from my sources in Riyadh, he's taken over, and he was responsible significantly for this signing as well. And the fact that Bayern Munich wanted him really is amazing. So Bayern Munich don't usually sign dud players.
No.
And that's the other thing, of course. Bayern have been after him all summer, but wouldn't go 65 million euros.
Yeah. And the other thing is he's young. Eddie will definitely improve him, and he can also help out defensively when we're under the pump.
Yeah, so just so you guys can see, this is a little bit of a graft. The purple is Alexander Isak. So you can see where he lines up. Woltemade is not far behind, if I'm honest with you.
But I mean, look at the shape.
That's what I said. You when you look at it, you know, I mean, he's got him down here as the same regarding the defence as Alexander Isak. I can't see that. Not being 6'7", I think he could be quite again, depending on how the coach sets him up. It's something that we're not used to, if I'm honest with you. But because he hasn't got pace, I think what you will get with this lad is that drop back, and the likes of Elanga then will go and just stay up there ready for that breakaway and things like that. So, 76 to Alexander Isak's 85 regarding attacking. Technical ability, 58, 69. So again, not 100 miles away. Tackling, I mean, he's got him down 46, but again, that could be the fact that he's a big, tall, gangly lad. I think it'll be difficult to get the ball off. But obviously, in creativity, believe it or believe it not, he's better, according to this lot, which I don't really give a lot of time for. But I mean, they think he's better than Isak regarding creativity. So that he's certainly shining to some degree. But again, it's like everything else. Some people will shine to him, others won't. Now, if I go on to this tab, and I'll try and highlight just there so you can see that. I'm hoping you can see that on the screen, or has it separated the two? You've got a situation here where if you look at the player traits, because this is what I like, the pizza. when you look at the way the lads work this is compared to all of the other forwards. So it works out on the 7 leagues around Europe, the best leagues around Europe. 90%. These are percentiles. Chances created, 96%. Aerial duels won, 69%. Defensive contributions, over 50% defensive contributions. Goals, 91%. Shot attempts, 59%. And obviously touches in and around the penalty area at 90%. So again, when you look at a piece, a pizza pie, if you like, he has contributed in all areas. And that's what makes him stand out from the crowd for me, rather than, you're looking at, we did it yesterday when we were looking at Strand Larson, Vissa and stuff like that. Even though their pizza was good, there was areas of weakness within that pizza. This lad looks an all-round talent.
Gary,
so
what's his injury record like?
very, very little. He got injured back in February. He was out for not long. I think it was a couple of games he missed. But again, he's been available all season, and the best ability is availability. So he does seem, again, the one thing that I look at him, and again, when you compare him to the likes of Isak, right?
Missed one game in 24-25, one game in 23-24.
There you go.
19 games in 21-22 for foot surgery.
Yeah, I was going to say he had some ligament issue in his foot.
And 11 games in 2021 with an outer ligament tear.
So we're accepting the fact that this lad is a replacement for Isak. He's not the Wilson replacement.
Well, this is what I said. This is why Dr. Almar's in, because obviously he's had some person giving him strong information that Isak is not for sale. So it looks like, the boss has sang his tune. Well, it's like I said, I don't think when we look at this now, and this is something else that I wanted to speak to you about, because by all accounts now, the Strand Larson deal is gone, right? That's what's out there in the world of football. The Strand Larson deal is off, but the Vissa deal isn't. So it looks like very much that the Vissa could still come into the club, because he's not being picked for the trip to Sunderland. I was listening to the guy, I can't think of his bloody name now, the Brentford new manager. It's gone. He was stating that the fact that he was still unsure of how his mental situation is, and he said he wouldn't include him. Very similar to Eddie with Alexander Isak. Can't really include him because he doesn't know where he is on that mental attribute side of things, and there's no point having a player sat on the bench if he's not going to contribute to the game. So the Vissa side of things looks very much like, to me, as though that could be a done deal. But not obviously so.
So my information, and I might be wrong, but my information before I came on, so Al Walid, for those people who know, he's based in Riyadh, and he has very close connections with Yasser and PIF. My information is Isak is not for sale, and Woltemade is Wilson's replacement. And they're not going to sign Vissa now. That's my information. No. There'll be no. This. I might be wrong, but his information before I came on the panel, I spoke to Al Walid, and we're going to be doing a stream on Sunday night. So let's see. But this is very strong information coming out from Riyadh.
Wow. That's really good news if it's right, because me and Gary, when we were speaking the other night, were saying we don't want to overspend for an older player.
Exactly.
If we went in for this lad and we're paying for him to be the Wilson replacement, and Isak stays and plays, that makes this a brilliant window if that's the case. Striker wise, it makes it good. I see a little smile come across his face there because I've said it's a good window. If you end up with them two lads as your strikers,
amazing. That'd be amazing.
And Isak's playing, that's one hell of a statement to the rest of the league in regards to striker wise.
I
And if I
trust
tell you
Eddie
what, if that's the
because
case, I'll be readjusting my Champions League prediction as well.
I trust Eddie to reintegrate Isak. I think Woltemade is going to be doing well enough for us to give us time to reintegrate Isak. It will take time,
He's
but
buying
he will
time, and
play.
time is priceless.
And there you
Yeah.
go. Voltemada is on the quayside.
So because I think we've been discussing this, Gary, in the group and on previous streams. Yasser Romayan is very upset at the way Liverpool have gone about things, and Isak as well. And
Yeah.
he's not going to sell him. He's not going to sell him. That's why he was in Newcastle on Sunday to tell him he's not going anywhere.
So again,
Except by all
looking.
accounts, he never actually spoke to Isak.
No,
No.
he didn't speak to him, but the PIF delegation fed back to him, and he told them he's not going anywhere this summer. There are some reports from Riyadh that PSG have had some discussions, and Real Madrid expressing interest for next summer for Isak.
Oh, interesting. So there you go. You see, because like when it he's Matty Gorman. He's the red one. Come on, lads. We all know how this storytelling ends. Thanks for the $1.99, Matty. Listen.
Not with Isak going to Liverpool before Monday.
Listen. I would never say never, and I don't want to, come across and say that there's no opportunity for this to happen, because again, we all know that if the right money comes in, because if you look at all the reports now, and I'm going on Luke Edwards' reports, one of the three conditions have been met for Isak to join Liverpool, right? So the one has been met. They now need to match the asking price. Was set at £150 million, but we shall see. And Newcastle need to know they can sign a second striker to replace him. It's going to be an eventful 4 days. So, according to a lot of the journals out there that obviously haven't been given the information that you're just saying there, it's a case of they still think if the money comes in from Liverpool, which is the set price at £150 million. Now, originally, like I said, I heard that it was 130, and that was before Isak went, public with his announcement. And I think that scuppered a lot of the issues. I think what also scuppered the situation was Liverpool going and getting Ekatike. I think there was a lot of goalposts being moved. Go on, then you can do this one, mate.
Andy Barwick, thank you for the $4.99. He has the ability to replace Isak. The price point to replace Wilson puts us in a strong position with Liverpool now. Power is now back with us.
Yeah.
Well said, Andy Barwick.
Well done, Andy, and thank you for that one, buddy.
It does sound like they're racing this transfer through to have him available for the weekend, doesn't it?
They are, absolutely. And again, you think of where this has come from, which is typical Newcastle. Yeah? Don't hear anything. He's not even mentioned as a link to him, even though we've been calling for his name.
Especially when.
I was going to say, I think somebody has mentioned him a few times.
Exactly.
I've been very, very frustrated that we haven't seemed to have been linked with him at all. Like he's good enough for Bayern Munich, but he's not good enough for us.
Another night of completely agreeing with you.
Guys, the other thing is, I think we have to be careful with the media shills, I call them, people like Fabrizio Celano and all these, even Ben Jacobs, because they have agendas. I mean, it's very clear. The agenda from the legacy media is they're trying to force us to sell Isak, right?
Yeah.
And I'm proud that the club has stood strong. Now we made a statement signing, and I wouldn't trust things that are coming out of their mouth, to be honest. They're now saying, one of the conditions have been met, but they were also telling us that on Tuesday Liverpool put a bid in, and there'd already been an agreement that Isak would go to Liverpool after the match against the Scousers, and it's now almost Friday and no bid has been put in.
Nothing, no, exactly. So it's an interesting one.
I tell you what will be very interesting if Woltemade comes in and starts starting, and then Isak is integrated back into the squad. He's obviously going to be on the bench. When he starts warming up, what the reaction of the fans is when he's warming up down the sidelines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my view is we should be upset, but I think we need to be a bit more rational rather than emotional. You know, there has been poor behavior before, and we at the end of the day we'll get rid of him next season, not to Liverpool, next summer, sorry, but we'll benefit from his goals because he's going to score for his own selfish reasons.
Yeah, interesting. Another
Samir,
one just
thanks for
come
the
in from Sam.
$1.99.
There
One
you
more
go.
midfielder. Can never have enough.
Listen, I don't think we need it now
Ah,
because what I've always wanted is somebody who can create in the pocket, and you've just bought him.
Jacob Ramsey.
But you've just bought him,
Yeah.
Voltemade.
I
He
think
plays absolutely perfectly well in that situation.
I think a Willock replacement would be a good thing. So you've
Well,
got like
I think Willock's got to be. I think he's the one now that's falling further and further away from the first team. And like I say, it's more for me is the fact that he's just so injury prone.
no
one thing I
comment
do
from Alfie, but 79 pence. Thank you very much,
Thank you, mate.
Alfie.
one thing I do think is this window's set up for, which is a good thing, is next season I think the defence, there's quite a few of them well into the 30s. So it gives with because if we have a couple of young strikers, we've lessened the age of the midfield. It's then the defence that will go into and reduce their age as well. And then if we do that, we've got a hell of a squad, and it's going to be able to move forward a little bit in regards to we're not having to buy players in regards to age to get the age of the squad down. We're then buying players to make the squad a lot better or the team a lot better.
Just quickly, because we haven't had a look at FPref yet. I mean, the thing that you always look at in FPref is the green lines. This is comparing Voltemade to every other striker in the top 5 leagues. And by the way, this is him playing in the German league, which I consider to be the second toughest league in Europe. And he's up there in the 70s, 80s, and 90s on all of the stats that you want him to be up there on. Not 45 percentile on assists, but his job's to put the ball in the back of the net. And on the pizza, he's where you want him strong, shots, XGs, all the rest. He's up there in the blue. So
Thanks, Michael. He's not said anything, but it's a laughing dog in the corner. So it's like he's. I don't know whether he's happy.
Oh, it'll be one of those emojis that sadly don't show.
No, but I've got it here on the thing. It's just like a laughing fox or something.
Sheba dog laughing slightly while blushing and
blushing.
covering his mouth with one arm.
Yeah.
Muttley, Alan Muttley.
So let's go back to this Isak thing now, because there was obviously some talk about, again, I don't know whether anybody's seen it, but there was a Talk Sport put a video out there about Alexander Isak potentially being banned from European competition or international competition because of his behaviour. But I don't know how much there can be warranted on that, because that's not up to anybody else. And Andy Townsend was the one that reacted to it really bad, and he says he's been called up for his country, Sweden, but he's not featured since May. And he goes on to say that he thinks with the players' behaviour, his decision to refuse to play for Newcastle amid the ongoing transfer saga, he said that he doesn't deserve to be into an international, because it puts virtually a bit of a mockery on the international representation, if you like. And yet, like he said, if he's not being involved in any domestic football, how can he be fit enough to play at international level? So there's some statement there should be rules in place that prevent this from happening. The ex-Chelsea man said on Talk Sport, he's had no desire to play for Newcastle, to want to even train, as we are all aware of it, and think, is this the situation? If that's the case, if you don't want to go to work, and if you don't want to play in pre-season friendlies or when the club asks you to play, then why should you be allowed to go and play for your country because it suits you, because you feel you're entitled to? I'm very serious here. I don't think that should be allowed. I'm amazed that there aren't things in place from governing bodies like FIFA and UEFA to prevent things like this happening. So a really interesting look into it. But like I say, that I've done a little bit of a search on that, thinking that there may be something in there, but there's nothing, not a thing. He does finish off by saying, I don't think you should. If you've got a beef with your club that you can't resolve and you end up refusing to play, then I'm sorry, you should rule out everything. And then obviously Goldstein was just reiterating some and paraphrasing what he's doing.
Of course, that was the thing that was the guffaw that was in the forum yesterday, with Isak saying to John Dahl Thomason, I'm not playing any more for Sweden. I want to play for Brazil.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think you are moving into. I'm not standing up for Isak yet, but I do think with that you would be moving into dangerous ground if you start having international football affected by club football. I think there are two separate things, and
Yeah, I mean, there's no rules. I mean,
No,
what he's stating, what he's stating is like, one, it's like disrespectful to the international side of things because of
100%.
because of his behaviour, but the fact that he's not really had competitive training, and it's different training on your own where you're just having balls banged in at you, compared to obviously having a setup where even if you're training with the lads and not playing competitive games, you're still off the pace massively. I mean, it's just our luck that he'll go and turn up for Sweden and just bang in a hat trick.
Perfect World will get 150 million off Liverpool for him, and then he goes off for Sweden and gets injured for 12 months.
Oh,
Should I say that out loud? Or?
oh, that's so not. I mean, I don't want to wish anybody, injured.
No, I wouldn't.
There's some psychopathy there.
There is.
Yeah, I think,
Jimmy.
guys. I think his behavior has been very disrespectful. But human beings often do behave disrespectfully and poorly, and I think we should always be compassionate and try and understand the situation. I mean, to be fair to him, he's only made one statement on Instagram, which I think is probably his agent wrote for him. So he's not actually come out and said things, or like Wissa, removed all social media connections with Brentford or whatever. So I do think that there are agendas that are trying to create more division and more emotion between us as fans and Isak.
Oh, but
And
yeah, but
Eddie Howe,
all I would say
Yeah.
is that he's never come out and refuted
the other way
any
as well.
of the things that
exactly.
have been said.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I understand. But what I'm saying is that Eddie Howe's played a blinder, right? In my opinion, he's been very diplomatic and very professional. And he even said, I love Isak to come back and play for us, even though he's been very disrespectful to Eddie. So I think, and this club statement was brilliant. He's a member of the family, and when he's ready, we'll welcome him back. And even if you look at the statements of the players, I know there's again a media agenda, there's division in the camp, etc. But these are elite players who want to achieve success, and they will welcome him back. It will be difficult, but I personally think it's so. We need to be careful not to alienate him so much that it's kind of pushing him.
I've been saying from day one, utopia is that we get strikers in and eventually get a recalcitrant Isak back in the fold.
Yeah, and this precedent, I mean, like Wayne Rooney submitted a transfer request. He wanted to go to City. He got death threats. People turned up outside his house wanting to kill him. But he was reintegrated and he had a very successful season. Luka Modric, the same thing. Harry Kane, the same thing when he wanted to go to City for 100 million. So I think there is precedent. It's not the first time something like this has happened.
No, he's been badly advised. I think the first thing he needs to do is sack his
agent. Yeah.
Well,
sack his
advisor,
agent,
shall we say? Because he can't even get a license as an agent.
But I think he's panicking now because Sheikh Yasser's told him he's going nowhere. He's going nowhere.
The statement that he put out, that was the last throw of a desperate man.
Yeah.
Do you think that any new contract?
And countered brilliantly, I must say, for a change by PIF, whose silence has been deafening over the whole saga.
I think that took everybody by. Sorry, go on. Sorry, Bucky, go on.
No, go on, mate. You finish.
No, I was just gonna say that was unexpected. The speed at which they responded and the
Absolutely.
statement was absolutely brilliant. It shut people up
Right on
straight
point.
away. Yeah.
He's
Sorry, go on,
Yeah.
Bucky.
I was just going to say, do you think with Isak, if he does get offered, after the window's closed, if he is still here, if he gets offered a new contract, part of it'll be you get yourself a proper aim agent. We're not dealing with this guy anymore as a club.
Could well be.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I mean, it's an interesting one. But what I wanted to ask you, I have starred a few points in the chat there, so I'll come to you guys in a second. This is a club record, £65 million. Obviously, we spent just a touch more than Alexander Isak, and he did come literally as an unknown, if you like, even though he didn't really set any worlds alight. I'm not saying he was a slouch, but again, very hit and miss type of seasons. Are we expecting anything different from this lad? Like I said, for me, this is definitely on the money side of thing an Isak replacement. And if we get, as Dr. Amar said, we're not going to get Wissa. According to what I've just read there, we are going to get Wissa, but I'm not going to say where it's from. Like I said, because I ain't going to say that you're lying.
Okay.
I'm not going to, because I mean, at the end of the day, as you've already stated, there's lots of journalism out there that just puts a different spin on the truth.
Clickety click.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, it's like I said, we are still in this void of whether Isak stays or goes. But to think that at this present moment in time, when we've got somewhere in the region of £130 million worth of attacking talent with Newcastle, I never thought I'd see the day in my lifetime when I could actually stay that. I'm not saying that Isak's going to stay, but like I said, at this present moment in time with Isak still on board, that doesn't sound too bad.
Actually, it's more than 200 if you take the current
Well,
valuation of Isak,
current value.
150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm on about what we paid. When you think of
Yeah.
as in what we've paid initially, it's not a bad deal at all.
I hope
Going on to a few. Go on, mate.
Two things that we'll hopefully get from Woltemade is firstly loyalty, and secondly, his agent has the foresight to put a bloody buyout clause in his contract.
There you go. Yeah, marriage and divorce in one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And but that's the agent's job. You work for the for the player. And unfortunately, when Isak come across, his agent just saw the readies. He wasn't caring of what the player is going to end up doing or wanting. He just saw the pennies in his pocket and rolled with it. And that's what I said.
It's not even just when he came across because he signed a new contract while he was here. Why the hell didn't he put it? They would have solved this whole issue if that agent had just put a buyout clause in his contract.
Yeah, mental, absolutely mental. And like we said before,
By the way, if he'd done that then, that buyout clause would probably have been 100 million.
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah. I can see a lot of Liverpool fans are triggered in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's been rife over the last few weeks, to be fair. But it is what it is. This is a global story, and it's gonna. There's lots of people making clicks. I mean, before I come on the show, I just clicked on the Liverpool Echo to see what they're streaming, and it's like the door is open. Isak is on his way, and
now because we've signed Woltemade.
Yeah. So let's have a look at some of the starred chats. Great signing. Now we just need to get 150 plus million for the Rat. Job done, says 201. Gary Morn says, "Hey guys, don't you just love it when the Toon sets a deal and it's really top player that he's kept quiet until it's done? Woltemade is going to score hatfuls for the Toon." Well said, Gaza.
Spot on, Gaz.
Gary Morn again. This is a massive signing for us, and apparently there's a rumour that he's a Toon supporter. Well, I mean, obviously we saw yesterday that Tony Cruz has
become a one.
Yeah, he wants to become a member, a Mags Plus member, and vying for the ballot tickets. I'm sure he can afford a box, if I'm honest with you. Never mind a ballot tickets.
Gary, there's a statement. Jake Picker L. This doc is more deluded than Ty of AFTV. This is not a delusion. I'm just reporting what I've heard from a credible source in Riyadh. So it's not something I'm making up from my own head.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. I mean, people don't realise, when you talk to somebody with links to, obviously, where you are, you've got I suppose, and listen, we were talking in the green room before we all jumped on board. I think it will take a massive effort now for Liverpool to
Yeah.
actually get Isak. And when I say a massive effort, I think it's got to be to a point where it's a price that we can't refuse, because it's going to see our PSR issues open for a couple of seasons, where we are able to go and support the lads very well going forward. So for me, it's a win-win now, because we've got a striker in. We're in a win-win situation where literally 24, 36 hours ago, it felt very much like a lose-lose situation. And for me, it's a massive, massive situation to be in for the club, who again won't get bullied by certain teams, and I think that is the thing. Vincent N has said Nick is a baller from what I've seen. Good reading of the game, good technical ability.
Great technical ability.
It's crazy world.
And by the way, not made of glass, and can withstand a challenge.
Yeah,
a physical challenge.
Can I just ask a quick question on this lad? Is this the first German we've signed since we had Herman at the club?
I think it is.
Well, Malik Chow's German.
Oh, there you go. Oh, in off the post, Doc. In off the post.
Well done.
Yeah, there you go. Biddly bosh. It's
So
a good job one of us is awake, isn't it?
Since Chowden.
Yeah, exactly. Since Chow has come.
This week.
Since last week.
Yeah, let's elaborate.
Yeah.
He gets medical done tomorrow, so he can play against Leeds. There you go. That's from the crazy world. Predator has put apparently medical done in 2 parts. First part tonight, the RVI. Second tomorrow at the training ground. There you go.
I think, guys, we just need to be a bit not to have too high expectations of him to come and start banging goals straight away. There's a transition period, so I think we need to be patient.
I think I agree with you. I think what we've got to stop looking at is the fact that he's not going to set the world alight straight away. It's a different league. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
We've seen that with a lot of stars. I watched Wirtz, who cost Liverpool 117 million, and he didn't look 117 million player.
Sorry, how much was that? 100 million or 117
million? 117 million.
I know.
117 they paid for him. And to be fair,
so they want to offer 110 for Isak.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, but again, we know he's a world player. Wirtz has done absolutely fantastic everywhere else he's been. So we know he's got the quality. But like we keep saying, the Premier League is a different animal, and it does take players of quality time to settle down. Gary Warner's come in again and said, this guy is going to terrorise the Premier League team. Defences with the support he gets. This is a huge signing. We are back to where we wanted to be. Premier League, beware. Here we come. And UCL, bring it on.
The only thing that I would temper that with is typical Newcastle United. We've got the striker in now, and what's happened? We've lost
the midfield.
And isn't that just typical of being a Newcastle fan?
Yeah, but it's like I said. I mean, there is rumours of another player coming in. I did see it in the chat. I mean, again, 2 hours ago, there's still talk about Lautaro Martinez. I mean, it's crazy to think that this lad is being touted.
And by the way, Scalvini's raised his ugly head again.
Yeah, but I always said, as soon as you bring in a defender, the agents start, coming forward and trying to push their players, and that's life. That's football for you. But for me, I thought this Martinez.
Imagine Martinez there and Scalvini.
Oh,
in
God,
the
blimey.
back.
That's mental. Well,
we're starting to look like a proper team.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, when you look at this striker, Lautaro Martinez, I mean, I keep saying that must be BS, but according to it, there's I'll tell you what it states here. Newcastle attempt to contact the agent, but obviously he didn't pick up the phone. We said that earlier. According to Fox Sports, Argentina has attempted to reach out but was blocked, indicating that the transfer did not progress further. Martinez's contract was He's set to expire in June 29, and his market value is estimated at 95 million. It's exactly going on what we're saying. So, again, this is what you were saying before, Doc. What people do is just rinse and repeat the same story, but they actually add, the headlines is totally different. Now, it was saying Martinez has just got, not the green light to come, but again, we've been in contact and we're starting to negotiate. We haven't. It's that all it's done is just change the wording slightly to what was actually reported before. So that's crazy.
Well, I think Newcastle's the hottest property at the moment in terms of transfers. So people are grifting off, it's
Well,
clickbait, isn't it?
that's what I
Yeah.
said. It's all about
Yeah.
clicking that button, isn't it? That's all they're looking
Yeah.
for you to do.
Yeah.
I think, lads, the way we do it is obviously we have the discussion, and if we make statements that aren't right, the chat pick up, but also we'll pick each other up. I think
Yeah.
the problem is a lot of the, can I say, younger YouTubers are trying just to, as you say, get clickbait and get people on the channels, and it creates a lot of sensationalism when it's not really needed. The obviously
Yeah.
to get them people on the channels on a day, and this isn't calling them at all because I quite like watching some of them, but I think that's the big difference maybe now in transfer windows when we're looking at transfers. There's a lot more stuff. Just as soon as anything happens, there's a plane flies across Blythe, and there's people thinking this player's coming because he's on that plane.
Yeah.
It's straight away a video put out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's a big difference to the old style of where you used to sit on CFAX and wait for
Wait for the channel to come up. Yeah.
wait for something to come through.
Yeah.
Now it's sort of as soon as there's any sort of rumor or anything, there's a full video made, and it's great. We're signing this player, we're signing that player, and 9 times out of 10 it doesn't happen.
No,
And also,
exactly.
Boki, what people do is they make reference. For example, Craig Hope said this, the source. But when you go and read what he's tweeted or put out, it's nothing like what somebody's tweeted. So it's you have to go to the original source and validate the information. And as you
Yeah.
said, there's no way of us to fact check now. Anybody can say anything, and
That's right.
people run with it. And there's agendas, and people are being allegedly paid to put out tweets, etc.
Yeah. So
And
Keith,
UFC Tuesday and Gary, you're forgetting if he's not signed by 12, he can't play.
exactly.
If we play, well, is that true? It's 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah, he's still got to be registered before 12.
I think the 12 o'clock's just a
And it
standard
was
thing.
24 hours.
It's just a standard thing.
Yeah.
Keith Downey had put in Newcastle still want to sign Johan Wissa from Brentford to play alongside Nick Woltemade. NUFC won't sign Woltemade and Jorg Strand Larsen. Far too similar, hence that one's gone. And obviously, he's got Liverpool on now expected to come in with the Premier League record. Second offer for Alexander Isak, and the striker will get his wish.
Gary, can I just pick up on that? Didn't Liverpool say that they would only come in if they were given encouragement from Newcastle?
Yes.
Where's the information that Newcastle have given them encouragement to come in with a second
I
bid?
suppose again, what we're saying is it's about this three-way effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
What Newcastle.
Constructive dismissal because we have signed Woltemade.
Yeah, I mean,
And
but we
been
haven't actually opened the
construed-
door for them.
No. But I think this is what I'm saying. I think what,
2 and 2 gives you 5.
yeah, journalists
By-
are seeing
by
the
all
door
accounts,
opening ajar.
If the PIF delegation told Isak yesterday that he ain't going anywhere, he surely will have transmitted that message
Yeah.
to his agents,
To his-
who in turn will have transmitted it to Liverpool. So where is the encouragement?
Exactly.
If we can keep hold of Isak though for this window, and I know fans will hate this, but Wissa, I'm really beginning to worry about signing him. He's 28 years old. We're going to be
29. He's 29.
29 years. We're
Yeah.
going to be putting him on. As we all know, he'll be on a 5-year contract. He's going to be 34 at the end of that contract. In which case, that just rings alarm bells in my head. In that he's going to be well over his best. We've got no sell-on value in him, and we're going to be overpaying for him. And he's going to. Me and Gary, I know I said this on the last video, but me and Gary are going to be. The club are going to be paying him a massive wage as well.
And he's
And
gonna
we're
he's gonna be
going to be
missing for
without him for 2 of the
Afcon.
5 years in
Yeah,
AFCON.
Yeah.
Afcon, and plus also his character. I'm not keen on his character, the way he's behaving.
Well, I'm not particularly bothered about his character, the same as I'm not particularly bothered about Isak's character. In terms, I'm interested in what they do on the pitch, and I still think
Okay.
that would be a good sign, for footballing reasons. I don't think it would be disruptive. I think he looks after his body. You know, he's not a drinker, smoker, kind of thing. He's kind of a more Salah physique. So you're going to get you're going to get your money's worth there. You're not going to get any obviously, you know, you're not getting any selling value. But this is why I think Vlahovic could be such a good deal. Yes, you're going to be paying 20 million quid in wages for spread over a year. But to get him for 20 million, what you're doing is buying time, and time is priceless.
Yeah,
And
just
we
going
are
on
right now.
what we were saying before, this is obviously Newcastle's Yasser Al-Rumayyan has told the club's board that Alexander Isak shouldn't be sold for less than £150 million, and only after Newcastle sign a second striker. So that's the three-way domino effect. Any bids below this valuation will be swiftly rejected. So there you go. That's all we've got to say on that point, then, isn't it? Really, I mean, it's crazy to think that, like I say, potentially as this window closes, it could be the fact that we've got 3 strikers of decent quality, which would allow the likes of Asula to go and play some game time elsewhere. I mean, there's talk of him potentially going out to Germany. By Leverkusen, who we've got in the Champions League, by the way. So we could be up against Asula very soon. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Let's finish a couple of comments. Now we see it. Our window has been pretty excellent. We've brought some real top-class quality into the squad. Forget all the negativity. This has been a great window. It's been a slow window, progressively, but it has turned out to be top jolly, if I'm honest with you. Paul Morris, Win, I want to hear you say it. Wait until the window shuts. It'll be okay. It's really decent. KJCB.
How many times did I say
Come
it?
on, happy clapper. Yeah. There you go. Go on. He wants you to say it. Wait till the window shuts.
I'll judge the window when it shuts.
There you go. I was gonna end up with talking to you guys though. There's still, like I say, we're still in this conundrum, right? If Isak is sticking to his guns, right, and say we don't get Wissa, would we still be happy as a club to go with one main striker, one still up and coming young lad with Asula, 2 youngsters, and then have Isak just sat in the reserves? I mean, is that how it potentially could end up?
No, I think if we get to the end of the window, Isak will be filtered back into the squad. There's not much doubt in my mind that that's the case.
I expect Isak to sign a new contract and be reintegrated.
Yeah, and I tell you what else is absolutely fantastic, and I must admit, I have to say this because of all the, like I said, I don't like there being a finger pointing attitude type of thing. No blame culture, but finger pointing attitude. Where are the Andy Howe haters now? I can't see any in the chat anymore. It's really crazy, isn't it? Like I said, this is the way Newcastle work, and I think there's been a lot of names thrown out there potentially by Newcastle to put a bit of a coat, a bit of a blanket over our target, but we've had to wait for obviously whatever happens with Isak to resolve. But obviously that has happened now, and I think what we have to start looking at now is moving forward with or without Isak, whether he's part of the squad or whether he's not.
Yeah.
I do think that's the way we go now.
I think two things can be right at the same time. I think there are criticisms. We've not done things well. I think there are criticisms for the recruitment in Andy Howe, but they've also done well. So both things can be right. It's not either or.
Well, but that's what I said. Listen, we all know it's been frustrating because of some of the things. Again, being kept in the lurch, being told that we've been lied to for over a year. But I understand it because Eddie tries to protect the players. So he won't come out and mention certain things that don't need to be aired within,
Yes.
within the press. There's certain things that players say to managers that they do keep to themselves. And I think Eddie Howe's done that. The problem is, like I say, I just think Isak has unfortunately shot himself in the foot with the way he's behaved. And unfortunately, the goalposts will always move against you if you start, especially when you've got the Saudis,
Yeah.
to manage you. And I think that's the
Yeah.
thing. I
Gu-
don't think
Guys,
people realise.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I think money does talk, but living in the Gulf, I think David's mentioned this as well. So I've lived in Qatar 8 years. I'm in Dubai. I lived in Saudi. So these guys, especially at this level, for them, they will scrap a multi-million-pound project if they don't like one thing and start again. So for them, it's especially the way that Liverpool have conducted themselves and Isak. I think we're frustrated as fans. What do you think Yasser is feeling right now?
Yeah,
He's very successful chairman of trillion-dollar company, PIF chairman. He's not going to tolerate this kind of nonsense.
You
no,
think
it's
Andy
it's
Howe as
interesting.
well has been slightly stood back from what he's been doing for the rest of the transfer window?
Yeah, yeah,
We were saying in
yeah,
the green room before we started, Jamie Rubin seems to have took a lot more of a lead on transfers at the minute. PIF
yeah,
seems to have took a lot. And don't get us wrong, I'll call Andy Howe for the way he stepped to try to be the director of football. Just about, he was never good enough to be that role. But
No.
I think now there seems to be the club have realised that, and they've put a team in place that can do transfers and probably have the authority to actually spend the money. I think if
yes,
Jamie goes out there, Jamie Rubens goes out there or goes to clubs and can offer money, and they go, we want £5 million extra. He can probably just go, yeah, that's not a problem whatsoever. We'll if that's going to sort the deal out, we'll get it over the line with that.
yeah.
Because it does seem, since his name's been mentioned in it, and with I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name from PIF who's been held out.
Yasser, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Yasser.
What was it?
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
it's necessary.
No, Somless.
Yeah, that's the
Thomas.
one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
Sorry. Yeah.
think
Yeah.
since them two have come in, it's sort of, we have got deals over the line. So
And I think you're right, Buki. And Jamie has a direct contact with Yasser Ramayan. So if there is any issues, he'll just pick up the phone and say, "Can I pay an extra 10?" And you'll say, "Authorize it. Go for it."
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a case of I don't want a player, and the words that Eddie Howe said at the end of the Liverpool game, that for me spoke volumes, and that's why I think there is no way back for Isak now, and that's why I still think it will be under Newcastle terms, but I can't see Isak wearing a black and white shirt anymore, whether it's September the 2nd, and he's still at the club, or whether it be January and the transfer window comes through. I think there'll be it could be the hard sell for the first few months to say, look, listen, Isak, you're not bigger than the club. You're sitting there. If that's the way Al Ramayan wants to be, because like I said, we know that they are hard negotiators at times, and they do get their way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a case of now, and we go back to what he said about supporting Eddie to the best he can without affecting the PSR. So if Eddie now feels as though he is happy with the squad that we've got, and we don't need to just say, you know what, Isak, go, because we don't want you part of, then, we're in a situation of strength, aren't we? As we've already stated. So for me, it's a case of win-win. Let's get on with it now, and let's move forward as a united team,
a
as
mighty
always been mentioned.
win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
not mighty
And
win again.
and we can't leave tonight's show without having a look at our Champions League draw. What does everybody think about this? Got
Exciting.
Barcelona at home, PSG away, Benfica at home, Leverkusen away, Eindhoven PSV at home, Marseille away, and Bilbao at home, and Union Saint-Gilloise of Brussels away. Where do you see the points coming from, Bogey?
Do you know what? I'm not particularly asked about the points. I just see the atmosphere in the games. I'm just thinking of Barcelona, Benfica, PSV at home.
Paris away. Yeah.
But Paris away. It just got the hairs on the back of my neck tingling. We'll pick up points. There'll be points picked up, but as I say, I know everyone else will be sort of, oh, we've got to progress with Champions League and all that and things like that. And I agree, but it's just the excitement of seeing them teams. It's just, I think it's a brilliant draw. I cannot wait for it to start. It's just going to be amazing nights.
What's the pick of the bunch for you?
Barcelona at home, hasn't it? It's got to be, hasn't
Barcelona.
it? Yeah. I think the away game. Strangely enough, I think PSV would probably be the best away game for us.
Well, they're all handy. That's one thing. We're not
They're all
doing
very handy.
Azerbaijan or
Yeah.
Kazakhstan
No,
or,
and then
or Eastern Europe at all.
you must be excited with this draw winner. It's
I'm disappointed with it. I wanted to go somewhere new, and there's nowhere there that I haven't been already. You know, including for football matches.
Well, I'm saying.
I mean, I haven't been to Brussels, to be fair, for a match.
But I'm saying that
Went to Antwerp.
the teams we're playing, if you're at them home games, they're all going to be brilliant atmospheres, aren't they?
Oh yeah, Barcelona's going to be special.
Just going to put this on the screen. It's just Bob. Here is the main thing of Isak stays. He will be reintegrated into the team. Simply, it is World Cup year, and the Sweden manager has already said Isak won't play if he's not got regular football. Well, he's picked him for the side this time, and he's not even kicked a ball in anger yet since last May. So, if you think about it, that doesn't really make sense, does it? If he's already been picked for an international coming up, and he's not even been involved in any football. And like I said, the only way back for Isak, for me, is the massive apology. And it'll take him some time to be reintegrated back into the squad, especially now. So I think, like I said, for me, it's going to take a little bit of a big boy pants pull up time and get on with it. So, gentlemen, we've been on for nearly 2 hours. Go on, mate.
What's something magical after the window finishes? Can we have one show where we don't mention Isak?
Of course. There'll be no need to mention him after that.
And can I ask Doc a quick question? What do you think of the draw, mate? Are you excited by it?
Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled with the draw. I still remember the night with Tino scored a hat-trick at against Barcelona at home. Yeah. And I think it's a hard draw, to be honest. I think we might struggle, but I'm just excited about the draw. I think at home we can probably pick up some points, but away it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah. Like I say, I think the PSV, Marseille, Bilbao, and Brussels. I think there's 12 points there, but you pretty much need 15 to get in the top half, and where the other 3 are coming from.
Yeah,
I'm hoping Benfica at home. But you can't guarantee winning at Marseille. You can't guarantee winning it. You should Brussels, but
there's also there's many factors, injuries, and lack.
There's a whole load
all
of
that kind of stuff.
Whole load of other factors to take into consideration. Anyway, it was. It's what we've ended up. We certainly haven't got a group of death like the last time.
Yeah.
Do you think Barcelona look forward to coming to St. James?
No. There's not a single team in the top 2 pots who would have wanted to draw Newcastle. It would have been the last thing on there.
I think, especially for Barcelona, the first game of the Champions League. If I'm reading it right, that'll be the first game.
Well, the dates haven't been
set yet. If that's the first game, then Barcelona will not want to be at Newcastle on the first game of the because I mean the atmosphere is going to be electric, isn't it? It's going to be amazing.
Cool. Right then.
And the only other thing to mention, of course, is that last night we had the Carabao Cup draw, and we've got Bradford City.
City, yeah, exactly.
So there's a chance for Eddie to rotate the squad, shall we say?
And Man United got knocked out.
And Man United got knocked out. Indeed, they did.
Where
the wonderful Sesko decided he was going to take the 10th penalty. One before the goalkeeper.
I bet he's regretting not coming to Newcastle now.
Well, he has hope.
Yeah. Well, especially after the way we played against Liverpool. The atmosphere.
Listen. As you know, I've been going on about Woltemade for months, and
Yeah,
I don't have any worries about him hitting the ground running.
yeah. Let's see.
I think.
Now you've said that. Now you've said that you've jinxed him. He's gonna get injured.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
don't
doubt.
say that. Don't say that.
Oh,
I'm just going to put it on there because I do like the look of it. This is, I haven't done this, by the way, but it does look pretty cool when I do that. Just have a quick look at this and give me your thoughts. That could be your starting 11. It's not bad.
It's
not bad, and it's not a bad age group either for all them players.
No, it's not bad at all, is it, when you actually put it down on paper?
Yeah.
And that's without Isak.
That's without Alexander Isak.
And Jason.
Yeah. So, like I say, it's not bad. Like I said, it's only going to get better, boys and girls.
Things can only get better.
There you go.
Again.
Here we go. Tony Barton's in. Anything else before we go, gentlemen? Because obviously we'll be back again first thing in the morning for the presser at 9:10 for anybody that wants to join us. But anything else
And
before we say
hopefully their questions won't all concern a certain Swede.
Lads, do you not think that one thing I will state is, and I've stated this before, do you not think before the press conference now there should be just be saying to the press, no questions on Isak. We've done a statement. It's been flogged to death. If you ask any questions, the answer will be refer to a statement. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Move on to the next question.
But I mean, nothing has changed.
No.
That's what I said. I mean, that's what I said. I can't understand why they keep want to ask the same question repeatedly over and over again.
Eddie's got his point across. The club have got their point across.
Yeah.
He's got his point across. As I say, the press officer should be sitting next to Eddie, walking first thing and just say, look, no questions on... Jesus Christ.
Oh, that takes you back, eh?
I'm going to say, yeah, what does that remind you of?
Aye, Grim Turner.
no,
Do I not like orange? Anyway.
Aye. You've just cost me my job.
Yeah.
The press officer should just go in and say, no questions on Isak. It's all about the match tomorrow.
Well, that is what it's there for.
No, that'd be questions about Woltemade, obviously. And you would expect that. But
but Woltemade can't be mentioned in regards to the match if he signed.
Yeah, exactly.
But Isak, it should just be. Any questions you ask, we're just going to come back and say with everything. It's been put out in a statement. We're not answering any questions on Isak.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that's going to be my statement next week when if I come on this channel. I'm not answering any questions on Isak.
Gary, just a plug. So on Sunday night, I'm going to be doing a live with Al Walid from Saudi Arabia. So if Isak hasn't gone by Sunday night, we can have a chat then.
Fabulous, yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to find out. Don't forget to share the link, mate, just so we can come and watch it.
I will do.
Is it not in Arabic?
No, it's in English.
All right.
Excellent, even better, because
Yeah.
I don't need an interpreter. David Ornstein is still talking about Kobe Mainu. He informs Manchester United that he wishes to leave on loan before the deadline.
Wow.
And obviously, there has been some interest.
The only problem with that is that, of course, he played yesterday, so he's cup-tied. As would Strand Larson have been. And if we're going to rotate players, it's the Carabao Cup is one of the competitions you're going to be rotating in. And if you cannot play in the Carabao Cup...
But there's plenty of games there. There's plenty of games he could play in.
Exactly.
Can I just raise a quick point as well before we go? Because it's not very often I keep up with the chat, but it's a crazy world, dudes, and apparently to be a woman who normally absolutely slates us over absolutely everything.
He agreed with you.
I agree with you, finally.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's because you said you're going to say no on Isak.
Yeah.
Love it. I mean, like I say, it is an interesting one. But
didn't get me wrong, I would have Mainu tomorrow.
But I'll tell you something now. It would be an interesting look if we could get an option to buy next summer. If they can obviously agree something. Yeah. I don't think there's a problem there, if I'm honest with you. And again, you look at where we could be in a few years' time with the English youngsters potentially internationals.
And potentially
Very
the next
decent.
England manager.
Oh well, I don't want to wish ill health on him.
No, but yeah.
Because it's
But-
like the
but
poison
he's-
chalice, mate. That is.
But he's gonna be a top pick for the next job,
Yeah,
for the
he's
England
got
job.
10 years before he wants that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
There's still a lot of job to
yeah.
do. I mean, if we can get these two in, I mean, again, it's only a rumor. I don't know how true it is with the Maino. There is lots of like reports out there. Again, it's clickbait, but that's from Ornstein. It does look very much as though we are one of a few clubs asking a question, and I suppose we can leave it at that.
Paul Predator saying, I'm with Dudes Bookie. I hate agreeing with you, Owen. It goes against all my principles.
Bloody hell, if you don't agree with me or you,
I know. What the hell?
What the hell,
What
yeah. You can't get to that side of the coin, can you?
no.
Right, gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night because we've been on for an hour and 55. Like I said, thank you ever so much for Mighty Win, Boki, and Dr. Omar, who gives us our
Thank you,
psychoanalysis.
Just Joe, who joined us earlier from
And
Leeds.
obviously,
Go and have a look
that's
at
the
that
one.
channel, Just Joe Leeds.
Yeah. And thank you to all in the chat that have contributed. Superb. Especially goes to Alfie, Mikey McIntyre, Andy Barwick, Matty Gorman, and it's just Bob. Thank you so much for your kind gifts. And obviously, last but not least, Chris the American Mag, the boss, the man, the myth, the legend, has also gifted. So well done for that one. And until tomorrow morning, it's a good night from all them over there.
And it's a good night from him over there and them over there.
Good night.
Ciao,
you say?
ciao. Away the lads.
Lassies and bairns. See you all tomorrow.
Brian.